All right, so sitting here with Bob Barnhardt from Keller Williams
Right.
Delaware Beaches. Also happens to be my dad. But we wanted to talk a little bit today about, a little bit about him and his experiences with real estate and how he ended up being where he is today. So we're going to do a little bit of back and forth.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you some questions and then just, tell us a little bit about you and everything, your career and all that stuff. So first question would be, give us a little bit of your background and what actually led you to pursue a career in real estate. How did that start? Where were you and why did you decide to get into real estate as a career per se?
Well, I was probably about somewhere in my 30s, early 30s, and I was in construction, and I got hurt on the job, and I couldn't climb, and I couldn't carry heavy things at the time, and my wife kind of pushed me into real estate.
Your wife, my mom, right?
Your mom, yes, pushed me into real estate. Actually, her broker that she was working for, he was a great guy, God bless his soul. He was originally a truck driver. And he told me that being in the construction that I was in, why would I want to work outside in 8-degree weather during the winter and 95-degree weather hanging on the building during the summer? Mm-hmm. And being as I couldn't lift and climb and things like that, the next best thing was real estate. And it's the best thing he ever told me.
Okay, all right. So with all your years of experience, and we're talking years, how do you stay current with all the changes that are constantly happening in real estate, especially things like years ago when they first started bringing buyer's agency and breaking realtor relationships with clients and breaking that down into buyer's agency, seller's agency, and all. And then just within the past year, the big changes as far as now the requirement of having to have buyer's agency contracts signed and all. So how do you stay current with all the experience that you have with constantly being able to make those changes and be relevant with today's real estate market?
Well, it actually comes down to one word, and that's education. Continuing education, which is now a requirement in real estate. Many years ago when I came into the business, they didn't have any kind of continuing education.
They didn't even have fax machines when we first got into real estate.
Well, so. when I did, we had fax machines, and we didn't have lock boxes, and we used to have to run and pick keys up to go show a house. And if we wrote an offer, we had to drive it to the listing agent's office to get it, presented to the listing agent to present it to the seller. Right. So a lot of things have changed for the good, and a lot of things I think technology maybe has gone a little bit too far, but it's totally different today than what it was way back when.
Right. So you really feel education is key with staying relevant, and agents should really focus on staying educated with all of the changes that are constantly happening for the good of not only the career but also for the general public.
Definitely.
Because, you and I both know we run across a lot of people who unfortunately don't know where to go to get educated with the constant changes that are going on, which is, it's sad for the agents who are trying to make this a career, but it's also sad for the general public because they don't really know sometimes how education
This is true, and a lot of agents, a lot of people in general, they look at people like you and me and your mom, and they say, wow, boy, look at them. They drive really nice cars and they have nice houses. Real estate must be so easy. I'm going to go out and get my real estate license. So guess what? They go out and get their real estate license. Then they find out how much it's going to cost them to actually get started in the business. Right. And they end up sometimes going to offices that don't really have the personal training, right, and keeping on top of them and making sure that they're doing all the right things. Right. And they're the agents that end up falling by the wayside.
Right. And unfortunately, I think that sometimes the general public are the ones who actually have to suffer the brunt of that lack of education. It's a sad part of it, but, when you find an agent that really focuses on education and experience and all, I think that they see the difference, and that's when we build relationships and people keep coming back to us.
That's correct.
So tell me, what do you think is the most rewarding part of being a real estate agent, and how do you help your clients achieve their goals? So it's kind of two-pronged there.
The best thing as far as being a real estate agent is helping people find their dream home, helping them change their lifestyle, accomplishing the goals that they have in life, and helping them move forward.
Right. I think it's important too, to build relationships with people. It's not just a paycheck where you go to closing and you get your paycheck and you're done and you don't talk to people anymore. I think it's so important, and we've always tried to stress this, that we're your agent for life. You're not getting rid of us so easy when we get our paycheck and that's it. We kiss and hug and congratulations and you're out the door. I think it's important that, to us, to actually have real relationships with people. You're not just a number. You're not just a check on our board and all. And whatever those clients' goals are, and I know me personally, I have always, while I'm out working with people and all, one of my first questions to them are, what are your goals? What are your future goals? Where do you see yourself in 3 to 5 years? Because I want to be part of that. I want to be a part of helping them and their family. And, I see a lot of that coming back to me, but I think it also comes from learning from watching you guys through all this. So, all right, last question. Can you share a memorable success story or challenging situation in your career and how you handled it? Just something that really stands out to you in your career that gave you good, feel good vibes, something that you were able to do to help somebody, or even a challenge that you met and you were able to overcome it.
Oh my God, there's so many of them. It's kind of hard to narrow it down to one, but one that I'm thinking of right now is, and this was many years ago when we didn't have the technology and things like that. I remember there was actually a guy he was a buyer. He was a seller first and a buyer, him and his wife. And we sold their house. We went to closing, and we went to go to closing on the house he was purchasing, and the mortgage package didn't show up.
Kind of important.
Oh yeah. Well, what happened was the mortgage company just shut everything down. They were going out of business and didn't fund the loan.
Oh my God.
So we had to reach out to other lenders that we knew personally, that we knew would get the job done. Mm-hmm. And it took a few days. Had to bring them to my house and feed them once in a while, and their kids, but it was all worth it. We became friends for many years. Mm-hmm. And we finally got the loan approved and got them in their new home.
Right. And again, that brings us back to having relationships, not just with our clients, but with our vendors, with the lenders and the home inspectors and things like that. If you build your business on relationships and not on a paycheck, it comes back to you tenfold, not just financially, but emotionally. And, it's karma. So
right.
I thank you for teaching me all this stuff over the years and giving me the opportunity to be able to do this with people. It's really important. We have always looked at this as a family business, and family's important, but also, there's other relationships and all. Family isn't just the blood that you have in your veins, it's also the people that you come across in life.
True.
So this is just the first in one of our series about getting to know all of us individually. So I hope you enjoyed getting to know a little bit about my dad, Bob Barnhardt, and our team here at Keller Williams. And also, thanks, Dad, for doing this.
Thank you.
All right. And we will be seeing all of you sometime in the future. And if you have any questions for us anytime, shoot us a text, a DM, message us, and we'll get back to you. And maybe we'll even take some of your questions and make a future video.